Hey guys, it's been an interesting day. I wanted to give some insight on how stuff went. So it was mostly good stuff, I must say. So yeah, I've been noticing. Yeah, so since I've been improving my looks, definitely there's a very big change when it comes to women. Some women, all right, I want you to know this. There are some women who, even if a guy is good looking and attractive, they will just not like him and they will give him bad signals because they have a hatred towards men. I guess I don't know. They have some bad history with men, etc., or the feminism thing. So some women just hate men. Like you got to keep that in mind. So today I met a lot of women, very very beautiful women. Like I'm talking about like nines, tens, girls who look perfect, girls who are models. I'm in a city that where there are a lot of models, and yeah, I met a number of models. I met a very beautiful Swedish vocalist. She looked literally perfect, like amazingly gorgeous. She was one of the most beautiful girls I've run into since I've been living here, and so then as I'm coming back, I met this girl from the Philippines who was smoking. She was pretty attractive. I wouldn't give her a 10 or a 9. She was about a 7 or an 8. She was a very attractive girl. But anyways, I was dressed in a particular way that was attractive. I was wearing I was dressed stylishly. I was wearing nice boots that are black and they have a huge platforms. So like I was up like maybe an inch and a half or something. And then I also was wearing a really nice sweater, like cashmere sweater with a pea coat, black dress pants. Skin was looking good, and I was in a fasted state, so I didn't eat all day, but I was having green tea and things like that, which actually makes me look better. It makes your skin look nicer. It makes you look more youthful. Your testosterone increases. Fasting is very good for you. You guys should definitely do intermittent fasting often. I do it almost every day. Almost every day I do fasting, and I have like 1 or 2 meals a day, and they're usually very healthy meals. I try to avoid anything garbage like. But anyways, a number of things happened. So because of the way I was dressed and because of the way I looked, my skin was very nice. I had people. There's this woman. Like I was in an area that's very expensive, right? Like there's a lot of like very high end stores there. Like there's like fashion boutiques. There's places that are like the face gym. Think about it. There's people who go to do facial exercise, and there's a gym for your face, and it's crazy amount of money apparently, and people go there. But so I was in an area that's very rich, let's say, and it's amazing because I was getting so many people were thinking like the women in the store they were outside doing sales and like getting people into the store, and they try to specifically look for people who are like wealthy, and they assumed that I was very rich or something. And as I walked in, they were like wondering if I was like almost like a famous person. I think not that much, but like they were wondering if I was. They were assuming that I was very wealthy, and they were showing me all these things. They're like, okay, this one. This is they're showing me this new facial cream that's apparently like $500 for like a month's supply. They're like, it helps with everything. It helps with your pores, your bags, your everything. And they were expecting me like to be able to pay for that. It's funny. Or they were expecting me to be interested, and that money would not be a concern for me. So that's one thing that looks and clothing of status can do for you. I was dressed nice, right? And then on top of that, almost every girl I met today, I didn't have to do any convincing. I literally just talked for a bit, and then I was like, "We should get a coffee. You seem cool." And then they would say, "Yeah." I had a few approaches that were not good. That's the thing, guys. Meeting women, I do know it's majoritively about how you look, but after that point where you look decent, it is also about the skill. It is a skill set after that point. Your looks, of course, are pretty much going to be the thing that either lets it happen or not, lets it the opportunity there or not. But once the opportunity is there, you have to approach it the right way. And the way I was approaching was I did a few. I noticed the ones that were the worst were always the ones that were very sudden, very they were kind of awkward, and they were without any lead up and very random. Those were probably the worst approaches I did. The best ones were when I was in a supermarket, I would say something like, there was a cheese aisle, right? And I walk up to this girl, I was like, yo, I know this is going to sound really cheesy, but I just want to tell you that I think you look gorgeous. I said something like that, and she started laughing, and then I talked a bit, I got her number, then I was out. Girls look very much at your face. They're reading your face. They read your face in a way like how you would read a book or a scenario in an image. They're trying to decipher things from looking at your face. They're trying to decipher your mental state, whether you're aggressive or calm, your intelligence. They try to decipher a lot of things by looking at you. So a girl who's interested, especially, or is intrigued by you, will give you a lot of strong eye contact and look at you in their face very closely. And that happened to me a couple of times today. Now, let me think. Then, yeah, there's a model that I met in the train. I was talking to her. She's a very pretty girl. She's with an agency here. And it's amazing, though, that the improvements I did really changed a lot. They had a huge effect. The improvements I made to my life have a huge effect. I noticed before, if I would approach girls like the way I'm doing today, it would be creepy, right? They use that term. It's generally, that term has a lot of different meanings, but generally, a big one of those meanings is that they're not attracted to the guy and he's making advances, and they call that guy creepy. Or if let's say you show character traits of being kind of like very, very untrustworthy, or if you do behaviors that don't add up, that are incongruent. Let's say you behave in a way that is incongruent with the things that you're saying, like you look and your body language signals something else other than what your words are saying, or if you're giving signals of like social anxiety, fear of what they think of you, things like that. Women a lot of times will view that guy in a negative light, and they'll use some word like creepy to label him. But anyways, that word is complex in the things that it could go into and that it could mean. Now, again, like I said, guys, you could approach a lot of women, and the competition is very, very high. Okay, the competition is extremely high. There's a lot of men going for women, like especially. It's very different than it used to be, in my opinion. If you go back to the 80s and 90s, for instance, if a guy was a normal guy, he could see a very beautiful girl on his campus, and every other guy is too afraid to ask her out. But he could walk up to her and ask her out, and a lot of times that girl would say yeah, because guys just don't ask her out. They're too afraid of her. But today, it's not like that. Girls, even unattractive girls, are being bombarded. You know, pretty girls are being bombarded. It's a myth that the most beautiful women are not getting any attention, that they're lonely. That's a myth. A lot of men are trying to connect with them, a lot. And anyways, just want to label that. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. I have to say one thing about this dude. This guy is annoying me, man. Now, I don't want to put hatred on anyone, but I just want to make clear there's this YouTuber named Hamza, And he is apparently 6'1", and he's not facially attractive. He has bug eyes. He's a bit odd looking facially. But I don't know why. He was on a Wheat Waffles live stream, and Wheat Waffles really looks up to this guy. In reality, his information on diet is not correct. Just to put it forward, I as a guy am more physically attractive body wise than he is. Facially, yes, but body wise, even yeah. And I know a thing or two about nutrition. I have a background in that field. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but it's amazing that there's so many of these YouTube gurus coming out giving advice. They tend to be younger. They tend to be in their early or mid 20s, and they're coming out and giving advice. And there's a lot of lost people in the world, so of course you're going to get a whole stream of teenagers and early 20s people who are going to try to connect to them and listen to what they're saying. And I just want to be clear. A guy like Hamza, the only accomplishment it seems he had was getting in shape. That's it. It seems like I don't see anything else that he did. And it's not that hard to get in shape. People make it sound like it's a Herculean task. If it's a Herculean task to you to get in shape, to get abs, to get, muscular, then you are probably very undisciplined, very lazy. I'm a guy who has very bad genetics for fat loss anyway, so it took some effort for me to do it. But I'm not sitting there, saying that it's a huge accomplishment. It's not like you're landing on the moon, dude. So you have these people coming out and trying. They make one accomplishment and they think it's huge, though it's not really that big. And then they go off and make a self-help, YouTube channel from it. And then you get a bunch of lost, overweight, kids going to it to find a leader. Some people need a leader. A lot of people need a leader. Okay. And, the problem is that it's unfortunate because most of the leaders that are out there are just complete trash. They're complete trash. I always give the advice, like, if you're going to listen to someone, if you're going to listen to a guru or someone who's really, if you're going to take your life advice from someone, do it from someone who really has accomplished a great deal and who is a really great person. And generally they're going to be over 40. People who have accomplished a ton of things, they're going to be generally over 40. They're not in their mid-20s. They're not in their early 20s. People at that age have no clue what they're doing. They have no clue about life. And I'll give you an example. They act it. Okay, they act like they do. They act confident, and a bunch of lost, kids go and follow them. But the truth of the matter is, if you listen to Hamza's, every video of Hamza's channel, first of all, you could hear that at first, whenever he goes out, he starts most of his videos saying something about some guy who's not confident, right? He goes, Brad, he has his practiced fake low pitch voice, first of all, which is kind of cringe, but he goes off and he starts giving a rant on some fictitious character. He says like something like, Brad thinks working out is gay, blah, blah, blah. He does not do this and that and blah, blah, blah. You should watch his videos. And then he goes on to another part where he's talking about healthy habits, which half of them are not correct. Anyways, a bunch of people following him. A lot of those people are taking advice from a YouTube guru on nutrition and diet, which is not a good thing to do. Okay, you should figure out, first of all, your individual biology is unique. You should figure out how you work specifically. For me, for instance, I don't do carbs. I don't do well with carbs. I do well with very high protein. I do well with a decent amount of fats. Vegetables, not so much. I'm more like a carnivore type diet person. That works best for me. Protein shakes, whey protein shakes, they're not really that good for you, healthy in general. For most people, they're not healthy. I would say, you want to get your proteins from natural sources like, eggs, for instance, are some of the most bioavailable sources of protein you could have. I eat raw eggs. If you eat those, they will turn into muscle fiber a lot more effectively than a protein shake would. Anyways, stuff like that. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know if you guys hear these gurus. Then Wheat Waffles came out with a video recently where he talks about his Looks Maxing kit. Here again, I'm going to say, guys, don't take your advice from people that are this young, man. I'm older than them, but don't take your advice fully from me. Really figure out what you're doing and take your advice from people who really know what they're talking about when it comes to diet, health related things. Well, Looks Maxing, this guy, Wheat Waffles, came out with this video talking about how you have to have mouthwash and gum after every meal. Again, he's in his early 20s. If you have mouthwash with every time you eat, over time, these things have long-term consequences that are negative. It's not a natural thing to do. It could decay your gums. It could dry out your gums. The gum itself that he's saying to chew, these things have different aspects of it that are not good for you. They're not good for your health to have specific types of gum long term every day. Think about how much sugar that is. One of these Trident pieces has, let's say, 1 gram of carb in it, right? Now, let's say you have 10 of those a day, 10 of those pieces of gum a day. So let's say you, for your jaw, right? You're trying to improve your jawline. Let's say you have 10 of those a day, and let's say you do it for a year. So each one of them is 10 grams. Over a year, 10 grams a day additionally to your, ingesting 10 grams a day over a year is monumental. That could equate to a lot of fat gain. So you got to be careful with these people giving advice. In terms of gum, I would say get mastic gum that's sugar-free. That's what I would say. But anyways, stuff to look into. Also, these facial cleanses and facial rinses, long-term, these things have consequences. A lot of these things are not good for you long-term. They could make you look good real quick. It's like trying to cover up. It's like smelling real bad and like putting cologne all over yourself to hide the smell. It's like quick fixes. What you really want to do is establish healthy habits that will, for instance, if you eat right and stay away from toxic foods and you have a very clean diet that's specific to your biology, your actual body, that's good for you specifically, then you're not going to have so many skin troubles. Your skin's going to look great for the most part. My skin does because I eat right, and I don't use any facial cleanses or, makeup or anything like that. I don't need that. So instead of getting this specific type of facial mask or cream or whatever that's going to hide that, I'd prefer to get good habits that stop me from making my skin look bad naturally. Instead of having instead of having gum and mouthwash all the time, how about instead of that, I just eat a diet that doesn't have sugar, which makes, which feeds the bacteria in your mouth, which actually decays the enamel on your teeth. And, sugar is one of the worst things to keep in your mouth. So after you have something sugary, guys, I'm going to recommend rinse out your mouth with water. Instead of having these protein shakes, why not, have 6 raw eggs, which is a way healthier alternative than a whey protein shake. Instead of, I could go into a bunch of things that these people do that's just incorrect, but I think it's more beneficial for you guys to look into people who are excellent in the field. I'd say for health, look into, some of the work by Dr. Eric Berg. I would say fitness, nutrition and fitness. One other guy that I really like is Daniel Ventura. Ventura. Daniel Ventura. He's actually a great person to listen to. I follow a lot of his advice when it comes to weightlifting. When it comes to women, I do think a lot of the black pill people are touching on a truth that majority of the population has not accepted or gone into. But another person to look into that's very interesting is Robert Greene. He wrote this book called Art of Seduction. Amazing book. You guys should check out that book. You should also Robert Greene's brilliant. I think that book of Art of Seduction, it was life-changing for me, because seduction is a real thing. And there are examples throughout history of men who are physically unattractive who were great seducers. Of course, today things are a bit different, but yes, there was men in the past who were physically unattractive, and they were great seducers. Seduction is different than, going out one night and getting laid, going to a bar and getting laid. It's different. It's a more long-term process. But there's men who are physically unattractive who are amazing seducers. I've met one in my life. There's a lot more, I'm sure, but I've met one in my life. Now, that isn't to say that, looks maxing is not worth it. Looks maxing is definitely worth it because of the benefits that you get in several different domains. If you get very healthy, for instance, it's good for your brain. It's good for your thinking. It's good for your work because it has several beneficial consequences. So I'm not looks maxing just for girls. I'm looks maxing for a wide variety of things. One of the biggest parts of looks maxing is health maxing. Health maxing is the biggest part of looks maxing, in my opinion. Health maxing is what's going to make your skin look a particular way. It's what's going to make your fat on your body go away and the muscle mass increase. It's what's going to make your testosterone increase, have a stronger and deeper voice and higher sex drive, which means you could have better sex with the girl that you're with. It's going to do a bunch of things. So that's what I would say. And be careful of following these random voices on YouTube. They are, in a way, they're predatory. Here's what I'm going to say. Majority of these guys making these YouTube channels, Hamza, for instance, they're doing it, one, because they are trying to create a stream of income, which is completely fair, but do it in an ethical way, I would say. Number two, they are very, very confident, but the confidence does not come from a correct view of reality. It comes from not enough knowledge on reality. A lot of times the dumbest people are the most confident. That's what I know, because I'm in performance, right? I know performance. The ones who are the most confident are usually the dumbest ones. They don't understand how much there is to be unconfident about. They don't understand these things. They don't see them. I think it's called Dunning-Kruger effect. Not 100% sure, but they aren't able to. The less you know, the more comfortable you are, because you don't understand how many variables there are to, and how much uncertainty there is. So a lot of times the most capable and able people, the most knowledgeable people, are also the most unsure, because they know how much they know how weak their thinking can be in the presence of such complexity of reality. Anyways, I'm going to leave it with that. And I hope you guys think for yourselves and never trust one individual 100%, ever. Take everything that people say with a grain of salt, and get the knowledge for yourself. And when you're trying to figure out a particular subject, go to experts. Don't go to the most confident, go to the experts. Do not go to people like Hamza for diet and fitness advice. Go to people who are actually experts in the knowledge base of that field. Okay? Thank you, guys. And one more thing, man. No, never mind. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Goodbye. Thank you, guys. Bye.